Welcome again to the MCG. I'd like to call on Councillor Zoe Baker to give the acknowledgement to country.
Before we begin the proceedings, I'd like to acknowledge and pay respect to the traditional land owners of the land on which we meet today, the Camaragal people. It is upon their land that this wonderful community garden has been sown, and as we share our knowledge and nurture this garden now and into the future, may we also pay respect to the knowledge and care embedded forever within the Aboriginal custodianship of country. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoe. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
We've all got loud voices. I'm Gordon Howlett, Chairman of the MCG. I'd like to introduce the other members of the MCG committee, Carol Baker, Denny Linker and Rolf Baranush, and I'll explain their roles later. And a special welcome to the Mayor of North Sydney, Penny McCaffrey. I'm going to spend a few moments taking you through the background of this project. The Mayor will then officially open it. Carol will talk to us about what happens from now on in terms of the operation of the garden, and then we can get back to the refreshments and music from the Cool Cats. First, the background, which some of you may not be aware of. It's about 12 months ago that 3 people who shall remain nameless for legal reasons planted some parsley, basil and rocket in that rose garden. In the following 5 or 6 weeks, 2 important events happened. The first is that every day more and more people came up and said, what the heck is going on? Isn't this exciting? And why can't we do more of it? So within a short period of time, the herds were joined by a few rows of corn, a few potatoes, etc. The number of people who were interested grew. The second thing that happened, in the first light of dawn one day, the Parks and Garden people came in and dug them all out. Now, whilst we all felt a sense of outrage at the time, the fact is it is their rose garden. And what that led to is that Carol and Denny led a lobbying to council, forced by the community, that said, we understand that. It's important the community has a garden. We'd like to advance and get a plot of our own so that we can develop it. Ralph was then assigned the task of doing a survey amongst the community to find out the response, which was overwhelmingly favourable. And in February of this year, it was passed by council unanimously that we would develop this plot. The community then had its first public meeting on May 4. And by a process of democracy, I was elected chairman. The other, well, you know about democracy in North Sydney. The other members of the committee were in order. Ralph Baranush, who is the Streets Alive coordinator. Now, Ralph's role has not only been between the bridge between the community and North Sydney Council, but he's done a superb job on his own right, volunteering to help the construction and in every way possible. It was Carol and Denny who designed this medieval facility and drew up the construction plans, which was quite painstaking. And Carol then subsequently headed up the operations committee, which determines the planting routine, and her army of green ladies doing the fertilising, mulching and what have you. I think there's one other person in the crowd that we should acknowledge, and that's Colin Jacobson, who for 12 weeks headed up the construction effort. But very importantly, we need to thank all of the people here as volunteers who slaved away for approximately 12 weeks to build this garden. I know we can't thank you individually because I'm sure to forget someone. You know who you are, and we really applaud your efforts. And you've got to as well as the community, we should acknowledge some of the suppliers who made this possible. This is Australian hardwood from Lidco. We have seeds from diggers in Melbourne. The soil was from Martin's Fertiliser, who, apart from a commercial transaction, had a lot of booster soil over there, which has resulted in the garden you see today. We have the people from Kennard's Hire at Artarmon who initially supplied fencing to surround this for 4 weeks, which ended up at 12 weeks, and the people at Kennard's Lift and Shift who supplied the trolley for free that carried the timber over a 6-week period from down there to here, and a lot of us know about that. Above all, the volunteers, there are two remarkable things about this project. The first is, from the first public meeting to today, is 6 months and 4 days. So it is a remarkable effort to get this done, so thanks to all of you. The second is this is a true joint venture between the community who led the venture and North Sydney Council, who have enthusiastically embraced it. It's been a great partnership, and I'm very proud on behalf of the committee and all of you to ask the Mayor of North Sydney, Kenny McCaffrey, to officially open the venture.